guys, it has been exactly 1 month since we started homeschooling. So I wanted to go over everything that we did in our first month of homeschooling and how we feel about it. So stick around if you want to see that. Woo, what a month. We had a very stressful month and fun month. Every weekend we went away. And then we lost electricity while we were at the beach. Luckily, we were at the beach and it was like 100 degrees. So we came home to just digging out from a disaster. We had a tree across our driveway. It was a lot of work. And before that, we had construction going on in our house. We put on an addition over the garage. And then the painter was backed up. And so I was like, let's just paint it ourselves so we can get the house back in order because the house was in total chaos. And then we put in new carpet in this room and her new room. And then I'm able to get the rooms all put back together. So it's been chaotic. I've been very stressed. And Landon's felt it, my daughter. She's 7 if you're new to the channel. She has turned 7 the couple days before we started homeschool. And her last day of first grade. So, and then we are away every weekend. So our flow has been off, and I would say the first 3 weeks, everything was brand new. I kept it very low pressure, very easy, and everything went wonderful. We loved it. We had moments where we butt heads, but for the most part, I set it up where she can kind of do everything on her own and get it done. With Math with Confidence, in the instructor's manual, you kind of review things with them and teach them new concepts, and then they do 2 pages in the workbook. I think she was feeling pressure and she had anxiety this week, and because of that she wasn't focusing and she was being goofy and silly and acting out. So it was a bit of a struggle this week, and I got very frustrated with her and she got very frustrated with me, and there was a lot of anxiety, but I'll tell you how I'm working through that. So I wanted to show you real quick what we use. I got this, I think it was Martha Stewart at off Staples, I think. And what I basically did is every week I make this calendar here for the week and a checklist. So it says math, reading, writing, so she has to do those every day, and then 4 chores she needs to do every day. And then she has written in her own things that she wants to do. And then for writing, I started out doing just tracing. I was like, you know what? You need to trace and also copy. She traces her name, writes, copies it, and then today is traces Monday and the date. And then I wrote the weather is, and then she writes what the weather is today. So that is all we've done for writing. She is obsessed with making comic books and writing books. So she does a lot of writing on her own when we put her to bed. At night, she's in her room and she has a little desk. So, the rule is you have to stay in your room, but if you're not tired, then you can play and go to bed when you're tired. And with homeschool, she can sleep in, which is nice if she needs more sleep. So she's been in there at night writing comic books, and she does a lot of writing on her own that way, and also reading. She FaceTimes her friend, and they read the comic books to each other, which is cute. I also did 2 pen pals. And so she's been writing and reading with that as well, and writing letters to the 2 pen pals. And then she met someone on a Disney cruise, so a 3rd pen pal. So having pen pals, I think, is a fun way for her to practice her writing. And then for reading, she had a leftover workbook from school, and it's you read the story and then you draw what you read. So she does that sometimes. She gets to choose. And then we went to the library and got a bunch of these books. This one's really neat. The adult reads a page, and then the kid reads the other page, which is really simple. So we really like that. She really likes doing that one. And then she reads these to us as well for her reading assignment every day. And we do read every night as well. And one night we have those, I think they're called me readers. So you flip the page and you press the button for each page and you can read along while the little like robot voice reads the story. And she was doing that the other night too. So she is doing reading and writing on her own, which is really good. And then the last is math that she has to do. And I'm really happy with math with confidence, and the struggle we're having, what I'm doing. She has to get these 3 things done: math, reading, and writing. And then she gets an hour of her iPad every day. But she has to get this done before she can have her hour. So all I'll say is, all right, we're going to take a break. Like if tensions are high, she's frustrated. So it's either I ask for my help or go take a break. And she never wants to take a break because she wants to get it done. And the other thing I'm trying to teach her is to take a deep breath, relax, and that when you have anxiety and you're frustrated, you're not going to be able to do it properly and learn and take in the information. We've done silly things. As if we have time, I try to be as silly as possible with math, and she really responds to that. And one thing was like set up a toy store with price tags, and then you buy things and they write up the total and do the math on how much cash to give back to you. And I actually let her keep the cash in her wallet, which she loved. And one way that I made it fun was I came in as a different character and bought things each time. Like I would put on like granny outfit and things like that, and she absolutely loved it. She did the math. When she gets frustrated with math, my go-to is to go out into the driveway with chalk and have her jump around on the numbers to subtract and add and things like that. Or we do rocks on like 10 frames. So those are the things when we have time that I do, because it will take up a lot of time. All this should just take an hour, but because she gets frustrated and she loses focus, math has been taking longer and longer every day. And the other thing that we did was Synthesis, which is a math app. She really likes that, so she prefers to do that because it's all on her own. She doesn't have to listen to me. But I prefer math with confidence because it's really nice to see where she is and how she's progressing. And I'm learning stuff too. I didn't know about total things in math. I don't know. I'm learning stuff. We didn't learn this when I was little. And I'm enjoying it as well. The thing that she decided was that we're going to do mom homeschool. So she made her own checklist for me. And we do things like yoga, art, cuddling and reading. So she makes a checklist for me of things I need to get done with her, but they really end up being like hers as well. We ordered a make your own pillow kit, and we did that together. We did paint by numbers together, which is right there. A couple days ago, we found a drawing tutorial for kids on YouTube, and we did that together. She loves art. She has like a science experiment kit, so her and her dad did some sort of like ooey gooey booger thing. She loves anything gross like that. So he did science with her. When we're in the car, this has been years now, we usually listen to podcasts, and she loves Wow in the World, which is a science podcast. So she listens to that every week, and sometimes she'll play it in here on the Alexa. And she'll listen to her favorite ones, and she really retains information through storytelling, so that works really well. And then we found a history homeschool podcast, and one that she listened to over and over was Cleopatra. She got really into Cleopatra, and then she and my husband were like looking for costumes, so she picked out a Cleopatra costume. And we went to the library, and I got a Cleopatra book, and it was a really interesting book. It was sort of like everyday how Egyptian princesses lived. So it was very fascinating to her. And she was wearing her Cleopatra outfit. And then we watched like a kid's documentary, like a 10-minute one on YouTube. And I was like, you know what? We have nothing to do today. I was like, I wonder if there's any Egyptian artifacts like that we could drive to today. And Penn Museum ends up having like such a wonderful collection. Right now they are about to do a huge expansion, but they have archaeologists over in Egypt doing amazing things and uncovering things and bringing it back here in Philadelphia. So we drove down there. She did her rest of her schoolwork in the car, and we drove down and we saw a Sphinx that was from, I think, 1300 BC. And they had all this room that they are getting ready for the new Egyptian part of the museum, but they're like in these glass cases. We saw real mummified body, and they had a little area for her to draw. So it was such an amazing, and I learned so much, and I'm very interested in it. So we had such an amazing experience that I wouldn't have done otherwise if we weren't homeschooling. I just want to follow her lead on the rest of the stuff after she gets the 3 done. So that, I think, is everything we've been doing on our first month of homeschool. We've had interesting ups and downs, but mostly a wonderful experience. And next month is July. We will be going to the beach, and I think we're going to do a whale watching trip. So I'm going to try to get some information about whales and dolphins. She's, I think she would really like that, and that would be interesting to learn about. So I will see you guys on the next one. I'll probably do maybe a day in the life so you can see how we homeschool. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.